Okay, today we're going to talk about cleaning ovens. You can see I've let this one get nice and dirty for you. You're welcome. And in here you can see it's got quite a lot of sort of scale build up and a couple of things baked onto the bottom. There's a lot of stuff on the sides of the oven here, and there's a whole lot of brown baked on gunk at the back there. So what we're going to do is make that sparkly, beautifully shiny clean. Alright, first up what we're going to do is steam this so that we can soften any of the dirt that is loose enough to come off, and that will give us a really good base for doing any other cleaning. So all we're going to do is pop the door closed. We're going to turn it on to steam. So we want it on 110 degrees Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit, just your regular steam temperature. We'll set that for 15 minutes. And we want 100% steam. Okay, come back in a few minutes. Alright, our 15 minutes is up and I've just opened the oven and let out that excess steam, but it's still quite hot in here, it's a little bit damp. And what we're going to do is just take a wet cloth. I'm wearing a glove because I'm about to use some other cleaning product, but we'll go in with our wet cloth and we'll wipe up whatever we can get. That's already taken some of that grime off the bottom of the oven and a little bit off the sides there. So just give it a good wipe inside, get up what you can, and that minimises the cleaning products that you'll have to use when you do this. You see there on the back there's still quite a lot of dirt and grime that hasn't really come off with a steam clean. So any manufacturer that tells you that everything will come off with a steam clean, unless you never cook anything dirty in your oven, they're lying. Okay. Right. That is about how we're going to get it. So what I thought we might do is actually try the two sort of major methods of cleaning that I know of, or that I think work the best. There's lots of different ways you can do it and lots of products. These are the two that I have the most success with. So one, this is the sort of what you might refer to as the natural one. That is baking soda or bicarb soda and white vinegar. So really common household stuff. What I'm going to do with that is pop it onto one half of the oven and you just smear it on. It's like a lovely little sort of paste there that we've got. We'll smear that onto one side of the oven, and the other product I've got is something that we get in Australia, but it's not something that's really common elsewhere in the world. It's called Oven Plus Heavy Duty Gel. It says no fumes, but I think that's a bit of a lie. And that, the active ingredient in that is sodium hydroxide. So if you are looking for something else and you're not in Australia, look for something that has got sodium hydroxide in it. That will help you get your oven nice and clean. I know in the States people use Easy Off oven cleaner that comes, I believe, in a spray. This is a sort of a gel product. So what we'll do is go in with the natural product first, just because it's a little bit nicer to work with. I'm going to basically just scoop that up with my fingers. You can see there it's sort of a sloppy-ish kind of paste, and we'll go over one half of the oven with that. You can actually see when you're up close to it that any of that really dirty stuff like we've got in the middle of this little evaporator plate here, that is sort of fizzing and foaming a little bit. So we'll keep going in. We're going to cover the whole of the right hand side of the oven here with that paste. Just try not to get it, if you've got holes where the fan is around the back of your oven, try not to actually put it in the holes because it's a pain to get it out. Okay, so we've gone over that half of the oven. You can see that it's all sort of blobbish and white looking. That's fine. We'll take that off afterwards. And there's not really a smell, there's nothing really offensive about it. The hardest bit is soaking it up at the end. So now we're going to go in on the other half of the oven with our blue gel. And this is where things get a bit smelly. This has got a little brush applicator. If it doesn't have an applicator, or if, like me, you get towards the back of that oven and you find that it's not very easy, you can actually just pop it onto a cloth and wipe it on. You don't need a lot of this product, so just a thin layer is enough. And you smear it around. I tend to use this only on the bits that actually look dirty, so if you find that there's really clean parts in the middle of the oven, on the floor or on the walls, you don't need to go over those with the blue gel. So you can imagine there's a line right in the middle of that oven. And we'll pop this stuff away. And we'll come back in about 20 minutes. And we're back. Let's have a look inside. Okay, doesn't look much different at the moment, but I think we will find when we give that a really good wipe that a lot of that is going to come out. So let's go in. I think we'll go in first with our bicarb or baking soda. Okay, I've just got some fresh water up the top here and a cloth. I'm just using a microfiber cloth. This has got some little kind of knobbly bits on it, and they just help to scrub off any remaining little bits of dirt. So what's happening here is that actually most of the little baked on bits of dirt are just wiping away. I'm using a little bit of elbow grease, but not too much. Bit of a wipe. Takes a little while to get it done. I think if you're looking for a natural method, this is definitely the way to go. Lemon juice I wouldn't recommend. It does, I have seen it actually rust some of the parts of a steam oven before. Not everything is coming up off this bottom plate, but some of that is a function of that stuff being scale rather than dirt. So what we'll do is when we're finished, go to that with a descaling solution. So most of this is coming off. Not all of it actually is going to come off though. So this is where we'll see the difference between something that's more of a chemical product and something that is just a household cleaner. So what you've got here is quite a lot of that baking soda paste in the bottom of the oven. I'm just going to rinse that out, and then we'll come back and look at that side all cleaned up. Alright, you can see actually a pretty distinct line now between that right hand side where we've given it a really good scrub with the baking soda. It's still a bit mucky in there because we're actually going to run another steam cycle just to get the last of that baking soda off. That will sort of wash it down the sides, and anywhere that we've accidentally pushed it into the holes where the fan is, we'll be able to get it out. But before I do that, I need to take away this caustic solution. So we're going to give a really good wipe on this side. And I can feel already that on this side where we've used that sort of more harsh cleaner, most of that dirt comes away much more quickly. You don't have to rub it a lot. Maybe a little more on the fan because we haven't put so much product there. But even this really baked on stuff, this was sort of the worst corner in terms of dirt, and most of that is just wiping away really pretty easily. Doesn't take a lot to get rid of it. There's a few little marks here. We can go back and spot clean those again afterwards if we want to. just give a really quick wipe to the door here. Alright. So we'll give it one more run on the steam cycle and then we'll come back and see what we're dealing with and give it one more wipe out. Okay, we are back. I've just run one last steam cycle for the oven, just trying to get out all of the residue of cleaning product. You can see I'm just giving it another last sort of wipe here. That cloth is really clean now, and I've got a dish just sitting on top of that oven which is clean, warm water, and I'm just going to go through a few times, wipe it over and get any extra bits off the oven if I can. We are pretty much done here. I don't know how easy it is for you to see, but there are a few small marks left on the oven. Look, most of the time I'd be happy to leave those there. If you decide that you want to keep on going, you can go back over either with your baking soda paste or you can do one more run with the caustic cleaner. Most of the time, like I said, I'd be happy with that. That is hygienic and clean. There will be no odours, no smell. But if, for argument's sake, we want to go back in and just spot clean a few of those last little brown marks, particularly on the back of the oven there, and if you've got any on the roof, then you can go through and do that. So for today, we'll do that, and I'll come back and show you how it cleans up as a very last sort of final go. Okay, last bit, I promise. I bet none of you thought you were going to watch a video of how to clean something that ran for a good 10 minutes. I certainly didn't think I'd be making something that ran 10 minutes. So what I've done is just spot clean those last bits that I talked about. I'm going over just with a really clean, vaguely damp cloth, not too wet, finishing up any last sort of streaky bits in the oven, giving a wipe to the outside frame, the door, the seals. Just give everything one really good wipe over to make sure there's no cleaning product left in there. You should be pretty good because really, by now I've done 2 or 3 steam cycles to get that clean, and you will have done the same. And then you can see I've just switched cloths here. I'm running now with a completely dry cloth and just giving it a really good wipe over to finish up. And you have got a beautiful, fabulous, clean steam oven. I hope this has been so helpful to you guys. It's something that I would have loved to see when I first got my steam oven. Now several steam ovens in and 10 years in, I'm pretty comfortable with cleaning it, and hopefully this will make you the same. Not really any shortcuts, but that gives you a good idea of how you can get things clean with natural and chemical products.